Hey everyone, I'm Anvita and welcome to the first episode of our podcast, Echoes Against Addiction. This is a podcast where we will have open and honest conversations about topics ranging from mental health to substance use disorders and how that impacts our communities.
Hi, and I'm Ananya. Today we're talking about something that affects millions of people worldwide, which is addiction. Despite how common it is, there's still a huge stigma around it.
And that stigma often prevents people from getting the help that they need. A lot of people think addiction is just a lack of willpower or a personal failing, but that is not true at all. Addiction is actually a medical condition, and it changes the way that the brain works.
Studies show that addiction affects the brain's reward system, making it really hard for someone to stop using substances, even if they really want to. And it's not just about drugs or alcohol. People can also struggle with addiction to things like nicotine, gambling, and even social media.
So let's break this down. Addiction or substance use disorder happens when a person becomes dependent on a substance and can't control their use. The brain literally rewires itself to crave that substance, and over time, it takes more and more to feel the same effect.
Right, and that's why it's not as simple as just deciding to quit. It's not just about willpower. There are physical and psychological factors at play too. And unfortunately, because of the stigma, a lot of people are too ashamed to seek help.
And that's why education is so important. The more that we talk about this, the more we can shift the conversation from judgment to support. No one chooses to become addicted, just like no one chooses to develop diabetes or depression.
And speaking of support, there are actually a lot of treatment options out there. Rehab programs, therapy, support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, or Smart Recovery, and even medication-assisted treatments can help people regain control of their lives.
But the first step is removing shame. If we can create a culture where people feel safe asking for help, we can actually save lives.
So if you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, know that help is out there. Organizations like SAMHSA and NAMI offer amazing resources. And we also have a few local resources in Washington on our Linktree page that you guys can go check out. And even just talking to a trusted friend or a family member can be a step in the right direction.
We'll be diving deeper into this topic in future episodes covering recovery, treatment, and real-life stories. But for now, the takeaway is that addiction is a medical condition, not a moral failure, and no one should be ashamed for seeking help.
That's it for today's episode of Echoes Against Addiction. If you find this discussion helpful, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next conversation. Bye!